Hello students, myself Sumangla Biradar. In previous video, we discussed about ER diagram. So ER diagram is the entity relationship diagram. Now you can also represent the ER diagram in another way with the help of the class diagram, that is we call as a UML class diagram, Unified Modeling Language class diagram. So first I'll tell what is the difference or similarities between this UML class diagram and your ER diagram. So usually in ER diagram you are using the term as entity type here. So in UML you are using the term as a class here, and all the entities. Entity type is what? Group of the entities we call as an entity type which share common attributes here. So each individual entities in UML you call as an object here, okay? And structured domain. So that is structured domain, you are using the word for which type of the attributes? Composite attributes. Composite attributes means what? Which attributes you can further divide as a sub attributes. So those attributes here you are using the term as a structured domain here. For multi-valued, which attributes holds multiple values. So those attributes you are representing here as a term as a separate class here. Okay, if any attributes is the multiple attributes, that one here you are representing like a separate class here. And associations. Associations means what? Relationship types. Okay, relationship types you are using the term as a associations. And relationship instances. Each individual entities, if you are relate now, that one we call as a relationship instances, and that term you are using as a links in UML class diagram. And link attributes for the relationship type also you can take the attributes. Those attributes we can call as a link attribute in the UML class diagram. And weak entity types as a qualified association. So in UML you are using the term as a qualified association means what? For the weak entity type. And for the weak entity types you are having the partial K attribute, and those attributes you are using term as a discriminator in UML class. And relationship constants, if you are specifying the constants, that one you call as a multiplicities. Okay, so these are the some of the similarities what I explained. What are the terms you are using in the UML class diagram? Okay, next we'll see the same notation using that conceptual schema for the company database using this UML class diagram. So as I told earlier, this is the diagram and you are divided as a two parts here. First part it tells the class name here. Okay, part 1 it tells what it is. This is your part 1. It is what it is. It is the name of the class here. And second part it tells about the attributes as a objects or types of the attributes here. Okay, and third part it tells the functions. What are the functions you can perform on this? Parameters. Usually you are use the word as a parameters in UML class diagram. So these are the parameters and this is the class name, and what are the function you want to perform on this class? Those functions you are specifying in this part here. Is it clear now? Class name, parameters and functions here. So now name of the classes employee as an entity type, now we are using as a class name here, and department class name, and project class name. Okay, and next is the dependent class name. So usually in ER diagram you are using the terms as what here? Entity types. Now we are using the term as a class names here. And here are the attributes here. So name, okay, all the attributes you are using the term as a domain. In UML you are using the term as what here? This is your domain here. Okay, domain, it may be the type of the data or it may be the description about the data here. Name is the one data. Okay, this data, name is one data, this one you are describing as a structural domain here. Structural domain means what it is? You are further subdivided. This is the composite attribute. This name attribute you are further subdivided as a F name, middle initial and the L name here. Okay, so now that one you are specifying like this, naming colon, and next you have to specify the domain of the that particular data here. So this is we call as a structure domain because you are further subdivided as a F name, middle initial and L name here. SSN, this is the name of the data. Birth date, this is the name. colon, and this is the domain here, address, salary. So all these are the things are comes what you call as a okay parameters, and these are the some of the functions you can perform on those okay objects here. Next is department, name and number, and functions parameters as attributes, and these are the different functions you can perform on this department in the same way, okay, parameters and functions here. Next, here you are linking, okay, relationship types here, okay. So now that relationship type you are representing like this is what we call as a link here. So there is the some link between these two class here. Employee and department are the two class, and you are relating this to using this link here. And for that link you are giving the name as what it is, works for here. Works for is the association, okay. This is the association name here. And same thing here, this is the controls associations, and here I use the one more as a location. Actually in ER diagram, location is the multi-valued attribute. So here multi-valued attribute, if it is there, that one you will take as a separate class here, okay. In UML class diagram, location is the one of the attribute in ER diagram, but here this location is the name of the class here, okay, because it holds the multiple values here, okay. Next is what are the roles it, okay, each this one it play, that one you are representing as a box here, okay. This one we call as a attributes here, okay. Start date, it is the attribute, that one you are representing using this box with the dashed line here. Managers, and you are having the relationship type attributes, and relationship type attributes what we call here as a associations, okay, sorry, link attributes here, okay. So next is coordinator, structural constants you have to specify. So structural constants, it is reverse. Earlier, if you go for the ER diagram, here you are taken 1, 1 and here you are taken 4, n here. But in this UML, you are taking in the opposite direction here. So department, minimum number of employees required or in required in that department table are 4 here, that is entities, and maximum is n here, 4:1, opposite it is, okay. So here you are specifying the structural constants in the opposite direction. In the same way 1 1 you are specifying here, okay. So name, same thing here. So this is the one department, minimum one manager for works for one department. That employee may be manager or may not manager here, okay. So for the employee, if you take, same employee can work on more than one project or minimum must work on one project here. So one project may contain more than one employees here. Minimum is 1, may contain more than one employees here. And this is location. So department may be located in multiple location or may not here. So that's what is 0. It may be located in more than one location. So if location is there, so that must be located in any one department location or more than one location here. This location may control, okay, must control one project, controlled by the more than one project here, okay. So now 0 and this one indicates what it is. This is the 0 indicates the okay department may be okay location, okay, department may control the project or may not here, okay. If it controls, it can control more than one project here. And here using the aggregations, this is we call as aggregation. This is your old class and this is the part of that class here. And weak entities, okay. If you are having the weak entity types, that one here you are taking as a class, and partial key of this one you are representing as a dependent name which is attached to the main class here. For this one you are attached here, okay. So this is about your UML diagram. Is it clear? This is one more notation you can use for representing the conceptual schema here. Next is relationship types of degree higher than 2. At present you learned what are the relationships and what are the constants you can okay specify for the binary relationship type, okay. If it is degree is higher than 2 here, then what is the thing? That one also you learn here. So this is the one of the example here. Entity, okay, supply is the relationship type and it relates the two entity types here. Sorry, three entity types here. One is the supplier, next is the part, and next is the project now. Okay, so this is the key attribute as a project name, and supplier name is the key attribute, part number is the key attribute. All these three entity types are related with the relationship type as what it is supply here. So then this is the example of degree of what now? Degree of this one is 3 here, which is higher than 2. So this one we call as a ternary here. If I want to convert this as a binary here, so is it correct or not? Let's check here. So supplier will supplies the okay parts to project here. So if I relate only this two, then thing is what it is, supplier supplies the project. What they supply? So supplier may supply the more than one parts to project here, and same project may contain the parts which are supplied by the multiple supplier here. So supplier can supply the parts to, okay. So now same supplier can supply more than one parts, and same part maybe you can get from the different supplier here, and those parts are used by the project here. Okay, so project may contain the multiple parts and part may be supplied for the multiple project here. So do you feel this one is complete here? Supplier supplies project, so there is no relations with the part here, and here supplier parts and next part and users, this is the not a correct relation here. So that's why here I specified that one using the correct way with the help of the degree higher than. Meaning of this one is what? Sometimes, so if you take the binary relationship type, so then what are the constraints or ER diagram you will represent? No, it may be not clear. So in that situation, you go for the higher degrees here. So this one, if I take like this, supply is the one of the relationship type which relates supplier, project and part here. So then thing is what it is? It is very simple here. And here supply is the weak entity type here. Okay, weak relationship type here. It relates the all the three entity types here. So now here I am taking the supply as a weak entity type, and these are the three entity types which are strong entity types here, and I am relating all this here. This is actually earlier I taken as a relationship type, now I converted as what now? As a relationship type as a weak entity type here, and now supplier will supply the okay parts here. So now this is what is the quantity, how much parts they will supply, that one. And if project wants the part, then they will approach the supply, and supply will get that part from the part here. Okay. So now this part will be supplied to the project based on their requirement. So what are the parts it is required for the project, then that part will be you can get from the part. Here if it is not available, so then the supply weak entity type it approach to the supplier. From the supplier, supply will get the parts, and those parts you are relating here, and those parts you are okay providing to the project here. Okay, so this is about the relationship types of degree higher than 2 here. This is one of the weak entity type, and you are relating that with the what? Weak identifying relationship type. This one you call as a identifying relationship type. This one you can identify by the supplier, or you can identify by the part, or you can identify by the project here. Okay, so this is about your okay ER diagram and relationship types of degree higher than 2 here. Is it clear now? Okay, thank you.